बीकानेर में राजनीति के दो विरोधी उस समय आमने सामने आ गए जब कलेक्ट्रेट ऑफिस में केंद्रीय मंत्री अर्जुन मेघवाल बैठक ले रहे थे। वहीं इस दौरान गोचर में अवैध अतिक्रमण की शिकायत लेकर के भी पहुंचे। और इसी बीच चलिए आपको दिल्ली ले चलते हैं, जहां पर शशि थरूर प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करते हुए।
अर्जुन खड़गे साहब हमारा नया अध्यक्ष होगा। मैं खबर सुन के उनके घर गए और उनको मेरी बधाई सुना दी। वो बहुत मेरे वरिष्ठ नेता है, मैं उनके साथ काम भी किया हूँ लोकसभा में। जैसे मैं आप सबको पहले भी बताया था, हम लोग कॉलीग्स हैं, सहयोगी है। और मैं खुश हूँ कि इस चुनाव के बाद कांग्रेस पार्टी को एक नया अध्यक्ष के लीडरशिप और के नेतृत्व और गाइडेंस से आगे बढ़ने का मौका मिलेगा। मैं ये भी कहूँगा आप लोगों से कि मैं बहुत आभारी हूँ कि इतने सारे कांग्रेस कार्यकर्ताओं ने मुझे समर्थन दिए, जिनमें से 1000 से ज़्यादा मतदान देने वाले हमारे डेलीगेट्स भी थे और बहुत सारे जो शायद वोट देने का हक नहीं था लेकिन कांग्रेस पार्टी की भलाई के लिए काम करने वाले मुझे हर प्रदेश में आके समर्थन दिए, मेरे साथ निकले और हर जगह में जैसे अब आज भी देखते हैं मेरे साथ रुक के मुझे जिस किस्म के मॉरल सपोर्ट दिए, मैं इसके लिए आभारी हूँ। मेरे ख्याल में हमारे कार्यकर्ता हैं हमारे पार्टी का असली गुरूर, और मैं कहूँगा कि हमारे कार्यकर्ताओं के काम से ही पार्टी आगे बढ़ेगी। और मैं खुश हूँ कि उनको इस विषय से इस चुनाव से उनको भी एक मौका मिला हमारे पार्टी के भविष्य के बारे में सोचने के लिए, और उनके ही पसीने से उनके ही काम से हमारे पार्टी का भविष्य बनने में एक बहुत बड़ा भूमिका लेना। मैं चाहता हूं कि पार्टी उनकी भी आवाज़ सुने। मैं चाहता हूं कि खड़गे साहब का विजय हम सब मान ले कि कांग्रेस पार्टी की जीत है। मैंने शुरुआत से ही कहा था, ये कोई व्यक्ति का विषय नहीं। मैं मेरे लिए कुछ नहीं चाहता, मैं सिर्फ चाहता हूं कि पार्टी मजबूत बने, क्योंकि भारतीय मजबूती के लिए एक कांग्रेस मजबूत होना बड़ी ज़रूरी है। तो इसी स्पिरिट में और इसी उद्देश्य से मैं लड़ा, और जो भी इस लड़ाई में भाग लिए उनको मेरी बधाई और मेरी ऑल माई ग्रैटिट्यूड मैं बताना चाहता हूँ। मैं उससे अभी रुकूंगा, क्योंकि अगर आप लोग को प्रश्न होंगे तो शायद उसके लिए जवाब दे दूंगा। लेकिन मेरे मन में ये बहुत अच्छा हुआ कांग्रेस पार्टी के लिए, और यहाँ से हम आगे बढ़ के कांग्रेस को हमारे देश के आने वाले चुनावों में एक बहुत बड़ा असर पड़ेगा मेरे ख्याल में, क्योंकि हमारे कार्यकर्ता भी जाग गए हैं, सब लोग तैयार हैं बीजेपी के चुनौती को निपटने के लिए। और मैं भी काफ़ी कॉन्फिडेंट हूँ कि हमारी पार्टी आप लोगों को हमारी कामयाबी दिखा सकेंगे।
देश का गुरूर शशि थरूर, देश का कोहिनूर शशि थरूर।
Mr. Tharoor, I have a question.
Yeah.
Mr. Tharoor, you got almost 1072 votes. So many are saying, the political observers are saying that these votes reflects that there is a feeling of dissent within the Congress cadre, because Mr. Kharge was seen as a Gandhi family candidate and you were not seen as a Gandhi family candidate. So many are saying that Congress also 1000 people in the Congress, among the Congress delegates, want change, and this is a vote for dissent. Like, how?
There's a difference between the two. I didn't pitch myself as the candidate of dissent. I pitched myself as a candidate of change. And change not in the ideology of the party or in the direction of the party, but rather in the manner in which we do our regular work. And I did feel that there was a need for opening up access to Karyakartas in the party, creating more opportunities for discussion forums, implementing not only the declarations of the Udaipur Chintan Shivir, but further some of the additional ideas that I had published in the manifesto, which came to me largely from our own party workers who wanted to see these changes. And therefore, for me, I would stress that it is not so much about dissent, but how we can make a good party better. I believe we have the experienced leaders, the strong record in governance, and the convictions and values that are right for the country. But what I felt there was a problem with was that there was a sense of disconnect on the part of many of our workers, and that we needed to overcome that by giving them a greater sense of involvement. I hope the election itself has contributed to giving them some sense of involvement in the party. I believe that is the case. But I think beyond this, there's much more that needs to be done, and I hope Mr. Kharge, once he has had time to assume his role fully, will look seriously at how all party workers can contribute to effective governance in the party so that we can mount an effective challenge to the BJP in the elections ahead. Yeah.
Mr. Tharoor, while you were campaigning as well, there were times when you raised that, sometimes it seemed like that Mr. Kharge was being felicitated by the PCC chiefs. Today also there was a letter which came out. Mr. Soos had also spoken about that, where you said that there were some discrepancies or some violations that your team had raised. Did it always feel to you that this was a one-sided, some are calling it a rigged election against you, so you still fought the fight because you had to? Or are you absolutely satisfied with the way this entire election has been conducted?
Look, first of all, I think the leak of that letter was unfortunate, and I said so immediately. It's certainly not something we would have done, and we are getting some very educated guesses as to where it came from, but that's neither here nor there right now. All I wanted to say is that throughout the election, Salman, as the campaign manager, was receiving information from the field, from our party workers, and wherever there were anything that he felt needed to be brought to the attention of the election authority, it was so done. This is not the first letter that was sent. It was the last letter, but it was not the first. And I will say that what Salman was doing was his duty in alerting the election authority to any violations that have been reported to us. They would then have to inquire and judge whether any action should be taken. I'm not aware that any action has resulted on any of these things, but the point is everybody has to play their role in this particular situation, that's all. We are conscious that the party has held no election for 22 years. And I don't think we can either say we are absolutely satisfied or that we have any reason to mistrust. I think the fact is that in an election of this nature, after such a long time, there are bound to be glitches, there are bound to be slip-ups, and there were. But the fact is that for us, we never doubted the good faith of the election authority or of the party leadership in wanting to have a free and fair opportunity for both candidates to contest. You're right, the leadership by and large stayed with Mr. Kharge. Again, that is not necessarily surprising. If you have a choice between change and continuity, and you are part of the continuity by your own rule, why would you want to change? I mean, I must say I admire those who did come out nonetheless and support me, but I would say that that's an inevitable thing. Conversely, a lot of those who signed my nomination forms, a lot of those who accompanied me, a lot of those who sat alongside me in press conferences at PCCs and so on, were also people of some heft in the party, either by virtue of having positions themselves. We've had MPs and fairly senior MPs and former MPs alongside me, but we've also had a lot of party workers who devote hours of their days, day in and day out, in many cases for very many years. Some of them are standing here, they've devoted decades to the party without any such recognition, but they still feel that idealism, that desire to see the party succeed. And for me, sticking to the election was not just stubbornness or anything like that. It was also an acknowledgement of what I owed to all those who have taken so much of effort to promote my views and this desire for change in the party. So I have no regrets about any of this.
सर,